Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now, a show where we get you answers for all of your stock-related queries. Remember, viewers, you can connect to us live on the WhatsApp number that'll be flashing on your screen. Do remember, each time you write to us, mention your name, the stock that you're looking to invest in, mention that as well, along with the buy price, the quantity, and the time horizon if you've already purchased the stock. And we will take that query to our experts then. Talking about our experts, today we have Kunal Bothra who's joining us on the technicals, and on the fundamentals we have Mr. Chokkalingam joining us. Very good morning to both of you gentlemen, and let me kickstart with the queries that are already pouring in then, and this one is coming in from Ranjit. He's writing to us from Gurgaon and he wants an advice on Raymond. He already has Raymond 200 shares at a price of 2,700 rupees per share. Mr. Chokkalingam, he wants to know about Raymond Lifestyle. If the company is going to go ahead and list, he wants to know what sort of a pricing and what range that could ideally be in. Also, what's the potential of a Raymond going ahead?
I'm extremely sorry. Raymond Lifestyle I have not studied since it's a new spin-off company. So therefore, I'm not in a position to help him.
All right. What about Raymond in particular? What's your view coming in on Raymond? No doubt his buy price is 2,700. What's the prospect of Raymond going ahead?
I firmly believe that it has fairly played out for the land bank story. If it crosses about 2,000, he can sell the stock.
He's from Satya. He's a senior citizen from Visakhapatnam and a long-term investor as well. He wants to know whether can he purchase BHEL, BEL and BML at this current prices, or if not these three stocks, what would be the two best defense stocks at a safe entry level as per you, Mr. Chokkalingam?
I don't recommend at current valuations defense stocks or most of these PSUs. The only one PSU stock which I keep recommending is a Balrampurchini company. Personally, also we have invested in it. According to me, that is the only stock which gives a lot of comfort in terms of valuation and also the dividend. It is still trading at around 17-18 PE, and it's a logistic business and tours and travel business. They are doing phenomenally well, and huge real estate assets it holds. So that's the only stock. Otherwise, we don't recommend any other defense or PSU stocks.
This was from Srinu from Vijayawada. Kunal, he's taken a momentum call on UTI AMC 100 shares at a price of 1,103 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he should hold or exit.
I think what's the buy price? If you can repeat.
He's saying 1,103.
Yeah, you can hold on to the stock as of now. I think it's come back towards its 50-day moving average at 980, 984 where it's trading right now, UTI AMC. So I think in that aspect you can continue to hold on. If possible, then look to average further. Maybe tomorrow could be a better day to average in case if the if there is any kind of a say a negative price action to the overall market, then I think you may probably get these stocks a bit more at a cheaper price. But I think at current levels always as well as starting maybe the next 1 or 2 days, if you get the stocks at 20-30 points lower from current levels, 950 approximately, then it's a good point where you may look to average, because if the stock holds on to this 50-day moving average or thereabouts, then you may expect the stock to bounce back towards 1,050 odd levels.
Well, the next query is from Meena from Delhi, and she has around 300 shares of Morpen Labs bought at a price of 53 rupees. She wants to know whether should she continue to hold this counter. Kunal, what would be your view on this counter?
See, it's an interesting chart because over the longer term basis, the stock has started to give a rounding bottom breakout, and it's almost ending like a 8-9 years of, in fact more than that, in fact 14-15 years of a major consolidation for itself. So if the breakout sustains above the 65 levels for Morpen Labs, then we could be looking at the stock entering into a multi-year uptrend also. So good prospect, but requires a lot of confirmation, so you can hold on to that.
And Mr. Chokkalingam, what would be your fundamental view on Morpen Labs?
Yeah, I studied it today. It looks quite attractive. Certainly, it can give anywhere 10 to 15% upside from here because recently they spun off the domestic branded formulation business. So they are normally traded anywhere from 3 times to 8 times sales if you see in the marketplace. So that can add a significant value. Though the business is right now small, it can grow, and also the balance sheet is very strong, and it's a net cash company. And also overall at the consolidated level, if you see the EV, enterprise value to annual sales, that also gives a lot of comfort. So at least around 10% upside is possible based on its current valuations.
Right, this one is coming from Nikhil Sharma from Mumbai. Kunal, this one is for you. He's an intraday trader, is what he's mentioned. 60 shares of BHEL. He bought at a price of 332.5 rupees per share. He's saying that the stock has gone below his stop loss, which was around 330 rupees per share. He wants to know, when should he go ahead to book profits, or should he go ahead, should he continue to hold on to it for the long term? What's your take on this? He's not making profits right now, but by when can he make profit? Maybe he wants to know that.
So I think absolutely. I think you. I mean, I don't know the reason why you've not kept the stop loss a lot more strict. And since the fact that you've mentioned that you are an intraday trader, so irrespective of the fact that the stock opens a bit of a gap down or slightly below your stop loss levels, you have to have your discipline in line for many of these names, and especially for a stock like BHEL, which we all know that historically has been a very high beta stock. Now, talking of the prospects over the medium term, I would say that the stock looks attractive. I think at 285 to 90 levels, there are a slew of supports for BHEL, but I would still believe that it's a high beta name. So I think what I would suggest is just hold on to the stock as of now. If it gets closer to say 310, 320, 315 kind of a range, even that's a good range over the next couple of days where you may look to book your loss and exit.
The next query is from Sundar from Coimbatore. He is holding 50 shares of Shriram Finance, bought at a price of 2,600. Kunal, he wants to know whether should he continue to hold this counter or sell.
I think it's one of the best performers from the entire financial services name over the last 3 months or so. The stock, if I'm not wrong, was down at 2,200 or 2,150 approximately, has now moved towards the 2,800 mark. Very recently, the stock had crossed 3,000 levels also. So it's been one of the better performers from the entire financial services name. Even at current levels, the stock has already gone through a correction of 200 odd points from its recent swing high. So the risk reward is attractive. If you're holding on to the longs, continue to do that, and if you're looking to buy, I think these are good levels where you can look to enter as well as add.
This one's coming from Aziz. This one's for you, Mr. Chokkalingam. Aziz is writing to us from Karnataka. He wants your view on Rani Madras, with given the fact that there is merger on the cards. The Rani Group had actually announced a merger of two other entities into Rani Madras. So on back of that, how is this counter looking to you? Have you tracked it?
Yeah, definitely. I've been tracking it for more than 2 decades. The good thing is that it's a part of very good management, no doubt about it. But in March quarter it has done slightly bad. If there is any correction, then you can buy. Otherwise, at current price, I find it difficult to give a buy call.
The next query is from Akhil from Delhi, and for investment purpose, he wants to know 2 to 3 good infra and railway stocks which could be a good compounder. Mr. Chokkalingam, any railway or infra stocks that you believe could be a good compounding story for the next say 2-3 years?
I find it a little difficult to recommend PSU infra stocks right now because they are already compounded in a phenomenal way. So it's better to wait for budget and then take a call. But otherwise, if he is keen in investing in infra stock, the one stock which I would strongly recommend is L&T. Almost nearly half of the profit also comes from the technology businesses, and they have corrected recently. It's university companies, and now they are picking up. So therefore, it can be a beneficiary of both, boom in the infrastructure business orders as well as the likelihood of recovery in the IT stock. So that is a best stock in my view.
Just to add to that, Mr. Chokkalingam, because you also have Satya who wants to know best bet in the agri sector for 1 to 2 years. Since you already spoke about infra, any names in the agri sector which you think will be value buys?
They are played out. I mean, monsoon is good. Till June end, the monsoon was very pathetic. Suddenly, thanks to God, the monsoon has become absolutely normal now. So if he is holding, he can continue to hold. Stocks like Coromandel, that kind of stock he can hold. Otherwise, post-budget, one can consider adding new stocks.
That was Mr. Chokkalingam's view on infra space, railway space and agri space as well. With that, let's slip into a short break and we'll address more in viewer queries post that.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. Let's continue taking all of his stock-related queries then. And this one is coming from Venkatesh. He's writing to us from Indonesia. And Kunal, he wants to know about Nuvoco Vista. He has 100 shares at a price of 312 rupees per share. And the other share is Sarda Cropchem, he has 100 shares at a price of 450 rupees per share. He wants to know whether it makes sense to accumulate some more of these stocks for a period of about 3 years or so.
So, I think Sharda Cropcom is something which you can look to start accumulating from a 3-year perspective. The stock is showing signs of some bit of recovery from the previous major swing lows of 320. It's now come back towards 500. It's already at a 3-quarter or 4-quarter high for itself. So the momentum seems to be quite coming back for Sharda Cropchem, and I think in that aspect you can look to invest into the stock. And I think from a longer term perspective, the previous highs, which was 760, 770, those are the levels which you can expect say over the next 12 to 18 months, at least if the stock gets back or maintains this streak of momentum. But for Nuvoco Vista, on the other hand, I don't believe, because the data is as it is very restricted. But even in the last 7-8 months of the data which the stock is showing, it doesn't look like a chart which is still getting into a breakout or a momentum zone. The breakout could probably happen above the 400 levels for the stock for Nuvoco. So I think above those levels is very correct to buy.
Well, the next query is from Subrata Mukherjee from Kolkata, and it's for you, Kunal. He wants to buy Man Infra stock for budget for short term. What would be your advice here?
I would not suggest a buy on the stock, because see, as it is, it's a very high beta name. The second, the critical part is that the stock is going into a downtrend since the last 6 to 7 months. I think from the Feb highs or January highs, when the stock was at 240 towards a point when the stock now is at 190.93, it's been making a pattern of consistent lower highs and lower lows. The concern for the stock is that 175 is the major support the stock has hit twice in the last 6-7 months of this downtrend. So in case if it retests this levels of 175, and if it breaks down, then it could be a severe crackdown for the stock over the near term. So I would probably suggest to wait out and not venture into the stock, at least as of now.
All right, this one is from N. Lakshmi Nagini, who is writing to us from Hyderabad. This one is for you, Mr. Chokkalingam, because she is a senior citizen, a long-term investor, and she has a couple of stocks in her portfolio, but she wants to know whether she should add some more of them in her portfolio right now. She has JSW Infra 150 shares at a price of 156, also Geo Financial 1860 shares at 7 rupees per share, and Zomato 300 shares at a price of 95 rupees per share. I think Geo Financial, maybe she's got it during the demerger or so that's how she may have incurred that particular stock in her portfolio. But what's your take on them? Do you think that she can look to add some more at current price?
She should book profit in Zomato, and she can add Geofinance, still trading at around 1.7 times book value, including the valuation of Reliance shares. And even if you give 50% discount to Reliance shares, the book value would be somewhere around 3.2. And the much smaller financial service companies are trading at around 4.5 times price to book. So I believe there is a lot of scope for wealth creation in the Geofinance in the long term. And as far as the JSW Infra, yes, I saw the June results also. It's a great management, great company, no doubt, but the kind of profit growth it is posting now is not justifying the P valuation the company enjoys. So probably if there is any point in time, if the stock falls 5-10%, then one can consider JSW Infra.
The next query is from Gaurav from Bangalore, and it's for you, Mr. Chokkalingam. He's saying that he's setting on 100% profit on Hindustan Aeronautics and around 18% profit on Bharat Dynamics. He's worried about the stretched valuations of both these companies, and he wants to know your view whether should he continue to hold both the counters or just book profit and get out of both the defense counters.
Yeah, I am also worried about the valuation, so that's why I completely discontinued even tracking these defense companies. So if he's happy with the profit, I suggest that he should take the.
All right, this one is coming from Kumar. He's writing to us from Mysore. Kunal, he has 450 shares of Paytm, and he's been patient enough. He's holding it from the levels of around 776 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he should continue to hold on to it or look to book a loss in Paytm. Paytm, after that dip coming in, post the RBI directive coming in, it's now actually trying to make some sort of a recovery. Does it make sense to stay put?
See, I would just suggest to stay put. I would not suggest to add the stock, even though it's recovered, showing signs of recovery, because this is a first stage recovery for the stock. Now the concern is that it's still holding on to that resistance, which is 200 moving average. That's that's a resistance which the stock has been unable to break past, even in this first leg of uptrend. Which means, ideally in these kind of scenarios, my expectation is that the stock initially goes up higher, gets into a time-wise consolidation, and then there's a lot of news flow events which the stock has to typically wait out for, which act as catalyst for the stocks to break past about those averages. So I would suggest that potentially if in the next 3 months, 6 months or so, if there is a lot of positive news flow in terms of catalyst which acts into the stock price, and then it starts to get back into the thick of momentum, that's the best time where you should look to average. As of now, just continue to hold on.
The next query is from Sandeep from Noida, and he wants to know the long-term outlook for Som Distilleries. He's holding around 100 shares, bought at a price of 105. Mr. Chokkalingam, do you track this counter, Som Distilleries?
No, I'm sorry, I haven't looked at its recent performance.
Any technical view on Som Distilleries?
Yeah, I would be bullish on the stock. In fact, over the last 1.5 odd year, the stock has taken double support or double support at sub 100 levels. I think 96 or 97 is the adjusted price in terms of the special sit price that the stock has gone through. So I think in that aspect, you can continue to hold on. And if you're looking to buy or add further, then I think sub 100 could be a very good level to average or add further also.
All right, this next query that I have is coming in from Krishi. This one is for you, Mr. Chokkalingam. He wants to know about SBI Life. 200 shares of SBI Life at a price of around 1,270 rupees per share. He wants to move part of that holding to actually LIC considering the valuations. What's your take? Does it make sense? A good advisable move?
And if there is any decline, one can buy also. It's going to be a perennial growth story in terms of sector as well as a company. So it's a good stock to hold and buy on any decline.
Well, with that, let's slip into a short break and we'll address more of your queries post that.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. Let's continue taking all of your stock-related queries then. And this next one is coming in from Dr. Zeenat Kausar, who's writing to us from Ranchi. Wants to know about Himadri Specialty Chemicals. 300 is the buy price, above 150 shares, as well as 200 shares of sale at a price of 173 rupees per share. Wants to know what sort of a strategy should she follow, Mr. Chokkalingam, when it comes to Himadri Specialty as well as sale. Do you think that these stocks are fine to be in the portfolio for the longer term?
I believe it's a good sale. I saw the results, good results, but the valuations are extremely stretched. If I heard you rightly, second is a sale. Yes, for long term, it's a good stock, there's no doubt. But in the short to medium term, there is a lot of pain in the metal space, steel industry. The prices, the realizations have been falling off late quite badly. So if she is looking at long term, then sale is a hold. Otherwise, the sale is also sell at the current price.
Well, the next query is from Rahul, and he wants to know the long-term view when it comes to Lancer Container and Bank of Baroda. He has around 1,200 shares of Lancer Container bought at a price of 51 rupees and around 1,000 shares of Bank of Baroda bought at a price of 275. Mr. Chokkalingam, any view on both these counters?
Baroda is a hold for long term because industry is expected to post to 14% credit growth, which will be the second highest in the last 10 years. But the other stock I do not track, so I am not able to give any view on that.
Look at this counter, Lancer Container.
Not really.
Okay.
Actually, you know, a lot of our viewers of late have been actually asking about this particular stock, actually, Lancer Container, Kunal. Maybe if you get time and if it's a stock that's worth watching out for, because I believe once upon a time it was a marquee company or very niche company at that point in time, but this is years ago, I believe, but I'm not sure if it's the same Lancer Container. But Kunal, let's talk about this query coming in from Siddharth. He's writing to us from Bangalore. He wants a technical view on Birla Soft, and also he wants to know if his holding in Poonawalla FinCorp can be shifted to Credit Access Grameen in the medium term. He's not given buy price for Poonawalla FinCorp or either Birla Soft. I'm not sure if he's already invested in it.
So Birla Soft, I'll start off with that. Is an interesting chart. I think as I was flagging off earlier, that the IT recovery is here to sustain and grow, and I would believe that in that sense, you could probably expect many of these mid-cap IT names to also start getting into a breakout. So it's a theme for the next say 6 months, 1 year, and so for these mid-cap, large-cap IT names. So I think in that aspect, you can continue to hold on to Birla Soft. On the other part, which is converting from Poonawalla FinCorp to Credit Access Grameen, I believe Poonawalla FinCorp itself is a very strong chart. Yes, the stock in the last 3-4 months has gone through a very different kind of a selling, because earlier the stock was going through a very sharp uptrend. But the stock has this odd tendency of going into those odd phases of downtrend, and all of a sudden we see the stock getting to a recovery. I think we saw this similar recovery for Poonawalla Fincorp when the stock had come down towards 250 or 300 mark a couple of years back, and in just a matter of few months the stock had jumped back towards 450, 500 levels. So I think it's a quality stock from the financial services name. Yes, it's going through its own series of downtrend, but I would believe that that's an opportunity for you to hold on to, if not to add.
With that, let's kickstart with the rapid fire then, and this one is coming for you, Kunal. This one is coming in from our viewer Tina. Wants to know about Parag Foods. 206 is the buy price. What's the next 6-month prospect for this one?
Very bullish on the stock. Continue to hold.
The next query is from V. Murli from Bangalore, and it's for you, Mr. Chokkalingam. He wants to know whether should he shift from Canfin Homes and Polycab to PNB Housing and KA Industries. Would you suggest this switch? Mr. Chokkalingam?
In terms of valuation, so we can buy PNB. Other stock I do not like.
All right, this one is coming in from Anand. Wants to know about Motilal Oswal. Is it a good counter to buy a fresh right now, Mr. Chokkalingam?
Post budget, certainly one can buy the working related stocks.
And the next query is from Sonu, and he wants to know whether should he buy IRFC for minimum 2 years. Mr. Chokkalingam, what would be your advice?
No, I am not comfortable.
All right, Krishna wants to know about Idea Forge as well as Indian hotels. Is it the right time to go ahead and enter these counters, Kunal?
Yes, for both of them it's a buy.
Next query is from Poonam Anand from Punjab. Kunal, what would be your view on Gujarat Ambuja Exports and Electronic Marts of India, EMIL?
So both of the charts are interesting. EMIL has gone through a correction and it's now come back towards 210 to 15 levels. Attractive territory for you to buy.
Mr. Chokkalingam, this one is coming in from Siva from Chennai. Wants to know about Balmalori. Is it a good stock to go ahead and buy right now for the long term?
Balmalori company, it means yes. It's a great buy, I believe.
The next query is from Bhuvaneshwari Ganesh from Chennai. He wants to know whether should he buy Reliance Industries in today's fall. Mr. Kunal, what would be your view?
Yeah, I think you can look to buy the stock at current levels.
Okay, Kunal, coming back to you once again. IDFC First Bank viewer has bought in, Ramki has bought in at a price of 82 rupees per share. Hold or exit for the long term. 1300 shares he has.
Hold on.
Our next query is from Arjun from Mysore. He has bought 200 shares of Kotak Mahindra Bank at a price of 1,820. Mr. Chokkalingam, should he continue to hold this counter?
Yes, certainly a good hold.
All right, with that we come to the end of the rapid fire as well as the queries. Thank you so much, Mr. Chokkalingam, as well as Kunal, for taking all of our stock related queries. And viewers, with that we are totally out of time on today's edition of Buy Now Sell Now. And just a quick reminder, tomorrow 11 a.m. you can catch the Finance Minister live on ET Now when she tables that union budget. So we will not have Buy Now Sell Now tomorrow. So for now, goodbye from Somit, myself and the team that put the show together.